One is a Grand Arena Specialist from the UK. The other is a Territory Battle Tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. But with both having decades of hosting experience under their belt, the one thing we are sure of is you will be entertained. This is the Escape Pod Cast, a weekly look into the mobile game Star Wars: Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the Nerdy Network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
I, for one, did not expect that second sister would be coming to the game, that's for sure.
Trilla Suduri from Jedi Fallen Order is now in the game.
Nev and I will look at the kit, while Thad will take a look at the inspiration in the Escape Podcast for kids.
Speaking of that, you might have to adjust your seat again.
I was going to say, who messed up my spot while I was out last week?
A special thanks to him for helping us out when one of us can't make it.
GAC's return, I'm sure that excited you last week, but what did the Squishening do to the tables?
We'll get into that and more news in the second segment.
Meanwhile, during our interview, we have a big one. You have been working on this one for a while.
Ah, yes. Hot Sauce and his crew will join us to talk about Hotbot again and all the fun new things that you can do with it.
I love that thing. It just saves so much headache and time.
And just make sure you have enough space for everyone, Paul.
Wait, how big is the crew?
In our fourth segment, we get jiggy with Jigabachi and Patreon's Choice.
Neil, how many people is he bringing?
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast. Neil, how many?
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm your host, Nev, and as always, I'm joined by my hetero life partner, Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you doing this Friday?
I'm doing well. It has been a crazy 2 weeks, as we said in the open. Thank you, Thad, for filling in during the time that I spent with my mother last week, and sadly, it looks like I'll be doing that again next week because, as for those who are watching the video version, there was a in memory of Norma Jean, my grandmother, who passed away at the age of 95. Man, 95 years old.
That's a bloody good innings.
That's a good life.
That is a damn good innings. That is a really, really good innings. That.
So, it's been an interesting week. So, all right. Not only has it been an interesting week in my life, it's been an interesting week in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because we have the beginning of a new faction.
Yes, we do, don't we? We do, though, don't we, though?
The second sister, the first of the Inquisitorious faction, has come to the game, along with a new calendar. We've gotten a week into the Squishening. We'll get into that as well. We'll have some thoughts on the whole Inquisitorious faction, and also, finally, we will be talking with Hot Sauce and the HotUtils crew in our incoming transmission, and then at the end, of course, Jigabachi will join us for getting jiggy with Jigabachi. But let's go ahead, and we're also going to talk, because just before we went live, you said you had a little bit of a mini Nev rant, not a rage, but a Nev rant about Kyle Katarn.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed.
Okay,
I'm really disappointed.
We'll definitely
not in the character. I think the character's great. I think he's a really, really great character. It's just
But-
what these last two characters have become. Dash and Kyle have become farmable.
Yep, and
I'm just not happy.
we'll definitely talk about that. So let's get to the headline. Second Sister, Dark Side Attacker Leader Empire Inquisitorious and Dark Side Ufu, unaligned Force user for the uninitiated, and they specialize in eliminating Jedi. So right off the bat, when I see Ruthless Inquisitor Attacker that specializes in eliminating Jedi, I think this is their answer for the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron.
You think?
I'm thinking once it's all said and done, it'll be one of those. We're
just gonna have to wait and see, because I mean, it's just one. I mean, it's an Inquisitor, obviously. So I mean, odds are we're gonna get more. I get
they've already
why.
said we're gonna get more, but still.
Yeah. I mean, it depends what Inquisitors we get and from where those Inquisitors come from. I want to see the Inquisitors from Rebels. I don't know about you, but
I want to see helicopter. I want to see helicopter lightsabers.
Yeah, some helicopter lightsabers, and I just want to see Jason Isaacs Inquisitor in this. Before
was he the Grand Inquisitor?
Yeah, he was the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they've done a leadership tag on this first one, because kind of it helps. But I can't see them doing leadership tags on any of the other ones that they bring into the game. But I would definitely see. I mean,
I can.
It's got to be a build up to the Grand Inquisitor. It has to be a build up to the Grand Inquisitor. You
could be very right, but I can. I see. Well, I'm saving this. I'm saving this, but this is going to be something new and exciting, in my opinion, in Galaxy of Heroes that we have not seen before. Let's get to our kit. Basic, deals special damage to target enemy and inflicts a stack of Purge if they're a Jedi, which can't be resisted. Additionally, it has a 30% chance to inflict an additional stack of Purge to the target enemy, which can't be resisted. So, if they are a Jedi, they're guaranteed 1. Mm-hmm. If they're not a Jedi, you have a 30% chance to inflict it. But if they are a Jedi, you have a 30% chance to inflict 2.
Yeah.
So,
this is going to be great against JKR teams, this. This is going to be so good against JKR teams.
Increased effects from enemies that utilize Purge, which lasts until the end of the encounter and cannot be copied or prevented. So, basically, it's a special damage basic attack that leads to more. That's the easiest way to put it. Special 1, Shall I End This? Deals special damage to target enemy. This ability has 150% defense penetration. If target enemy is inflicted with Purge, it will definitely score a critical hit and adds 50% critical damage.
Mm. Yummy.
So it doesn't take away the Purge, doesn't take away that that debuff, if you will. So looks like Purge is going to be around.
Yeah.
So is this game breaking yet? Is she, just with these 2 first abilities, is this something that you would want to farm right away?
It depends. It depends. It's definitely something people are going to want straight away if it helps with GLs. So if it helps with, a JML or a JKL, definitely. 100% absolutely cast iron, definitely going to help. Because the standard off meta counters for JML and for JMK are still quite expensive. They are still quite expensive. I mean, granted, most people already have a GG separatist droid team to counter JML. So it'd be nice if it will help people one shot a JMK team, perhaps. I mean, it's not going to be. I can't see it being a GL killer because they're trying to avoid that. But I wouldn't put it past some theory crafters out there to figure out some way to turn her into a GL killer. I mean, Mara's a GL killer. Not all. She'll wipe the floor with Rey and she'll wipe the floor with JML. But specifically, the mechanics of this character, you can't rule out her being a really, really, really good counter to JMK, which just makes things a lot more interesting in GAC.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into her special 2. Can't run forever. Oh, by the way, the special 1 has a cooldown of 3. Can't run forever, a cooldown of 5. That's high. That's high for something that you can't reduce the cooldowns of. Deal special damage to target enemy and consume up to 5 stacks of purge. So there we go. We're consuming purge. If any stacks of purge were consumed, grant Second Sister critical damage up for 2 turns, and the ability has a 50% chance to inflict stun for 1 turn. So even 1 stack of purge, Neil, has a coin flip to inflict stun and gives them damage up, critical damage up. For each stack of purge consumed, remove 20% turn meter from target enemy, and Second Sister gains 10% turn meter. So remove 100 at the target of 5 stacks of purge, remove 100% turn meter, and gain 50%. If the target enemy has 5 or more stacks of purge, definitely stun them for 1 turn, which can't be resisted. So under 4, it's a coin flip. At 5, it definitely stuns.
Yeah. You know what? That I know 5 is a heavy cooldown.
5 is a heavy cooldown, but you need to get 5 stacks of purge on them to get the maximum benefit.
Yeah. So it's I mean, it's great, it's good, but it's just it's heavy and it's expensive. Not entirely dissimilar to the way that the armorer is a great character. But the race is getting her to 3 stacks so that you can put 3 stacks on the character that you want 3 Beskar ingot stacks on, right?
Yeah.
I can see that being, I can see this character being of a similar ilk. It's like, she's great, but it's like the grind is getting her to 5 stacks so that you can use this special and really, really see the benefit from it. So, yeah, but I'm sure the theory crafters will come up with a team combo that makes it easy to get to the 5 stacks. There's no doubt in the back of my mind that somebody out there will do that.
Yeah. Let's talk about her leader, which it's just her. So a leader is interesting. Empire allies gain 5%. This is the main, and then she has a territory war, Omicron. Empire allies gain 5% offense, and Inquisitorious allies gain an additional 30% offense. Other Inquisitorious allies have a 30% chance to inflict 1 stack of purge when using a basic ability. So it gives that, to me, says that she's sharing what her basic does. And that ties into what we're going to talk about later. Which can't be copied or resisted. Whenever an ally is marked, mark all other allies for 2 turns, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So if one of them gets marked, they all get marked, except her.
Except her, yeah.
It doesn't say other ally. So, question. Is she an ally to herself?
Well, no, she's dark side Jedi, and they're extremely selfish and self-centered. So it's like it's all about her. It's all about her. That's what this kit tells me. It's like I don't care about everybody else. It's all about me.
Well, that's definitely the unique. But I'm thinking if she gets marked, I think you are an ally to yourself. It doesn't say whenever any other ally. So if she gets marked, everybody gets marked.
Yeah.
If a friend gets marked, everybody but her gets marked.
Yeah. Which does kind of add into that, her being, potentially great against JKR teams. Because if JKR marks her, then great, brilliant. As soon as that mark appears, other characters are going to get marked. So she isn't going to get, just railroaded by JKR, GMY, Bindo. And
that means that they could still target her. That if somebody's marked, they could still get targeted.
Yeah.
So it necessarily is more for defense against the AI.
Yeah. Definitely.
So,
yeah.
And while she's in territory wars, she does have an Omicron. Enemies start the battle with 2 stacks of Purge, and Jedi enemies can't recover health or protection from Jedi unique abilities except Galactic Legends.
For obvious reasons, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've covered the leader there. Let's go into the unique, which is absolutely fun. Remember that her category is Empire. So, Second Sister gains plus 50% critical damage. Her special abilities can't be evaded when attacking an enemy with 1 or more stacks of Purge. And whenever an enemy or Empire ally is defeated, she gains stat bonuses for the rest of the encounter. So, she's... Who's the one that does that too? That's, oh my gosh.
What?
Is it? It's not Asajj Ventress. There's a character that, as friends fall, they get stronger and stronger. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, no, AV. Every time a Night Sister gets killed, AV's offense
But
ramps.
that's every single time. There's a character that I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, because I didn't even think of it until now, that the first time somebody dies that's an ally, they get this buff, and then they get another buff. But it's interesting. First Empire ally or enemy, plus 35% speed. Second Empire ally or enemy, 100% defense penetration. Third Empire ally or enemy, plus 50% critical damage. Bone says Stormtrooper or Old Ben. No, I'm talking about not when they die themselves. I'm talking about when allies, when they lose friends, they get stronger. So,
see this unique. This is what's going to put me all in on this character. Not from a leader point of view. No, absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form from a leader point of view. I want to take Thrawn out of my Palp Vader Mara team and put her in.
So you're going to remove Thrawn from Mara.
I'm going to remove Thrawn. Yeah. The only thing that I used Thrawn for was to put the fracture on Rey, right? But I think with everything that she does, it would be a lot more valuable to have her there instead because of the the purges and stuff like that. And here's the thing: the kicker, to me, with this character's unique is the first, second, and third Empire ally. So 35 speed, another 100%, 100% defense penetration, and 50% critical damage. So let's say hypothetically, you've taken your Palp, your Vader, your Mara, and her and Watt into a match against a Rey, the GL Rey team. And everything's going along all tickety-boo. And then all of a sudden, Rey gets her bloody whirlwind off and takes out 2 or 3 of your Empire, right? And you're left with, say, for example, her and Mara. If you're just left with her and Mara, I mean, you're going to be able to polish off the rest of that team, no problem whatsoever. I think that she could be the answer to she could be the Relic 8 response, because while I've had a lot of success using the Mara counter to GL Rey when Rey is only Relic 7, I have been 100% unsuccessful when Rey is Relic 8. I think with her on the team instead of Thrawn, it could really, really make the difference. And it will be easier to take out the supporting cast. So, if all that's left is, a Relic 8 GL Rey, because the rest of the team just crumbled. It's great. She's got the ability to stun. Here's the thing, Mara locks up a team pretty well on her own, right? This Inquisitor is just going to help keep a team locked down. It really, really is going to help keep a team locked down.
Only the Inquisitor gets the plus 35% speed.
Yeah.
There's no speed distribution from Second Sister.
No, there's nothing. It's like a Hail Mary. She gets 100% penetration, plus she gets the extra crit damage. So I mean, you'd have to have her mod. I'm probably going to mod her for crit damage. While she's only 3 stars.
Well, 50% critical damage. Yeah, you better.
Yeah. So while she's low stars and only gear 11, it's a bit like, a lot of characters. You're modern for speed. You're modern for speed. But you keep an eye on, you put the crit damage triangle on there, and you try and get the offense primaries rocking. To try and get her to hit as hard as physically possible, right? So I can definitely see the benefit in that.
Yeah.
But once you've got her to 7 stars and she's relicked, she's gonna hit like a truck if she's crit damaged and crit. You don't even need to use crit chance. I would go crit damage and potency, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
That is what I would go. Because you don't need crit chance, because her abilities
already give her crit chance
anyway.
Right.
There's it's putting crit chance mods on her is just a waste.
Thank you, Rand B, for the 5-person raid. We appreciate it.
Hello, Governor.
It's definitely you're wanting to put increased critical damage in there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And like I said, she's not somebody. I mean, I've got her as the leader of some trash Empire characters. My leftover Empire characters at the moment. I didn't know who I was going to do Moff Tarkin or my TIE Fighter pilot or my Krennic with. So it's like, you know what? They're Empire, sod it. They can go with her. So for the time being, that's what's happening. But when I get her to 7 stars, and I'll do some testing in Squad Arena. I'm really going to do some testing in her to see what she does in place of my Relic Thrawn. Just 3 stars, gear 11. I want to see what she's capable of.
Please let us know.
Oh yeah, I will.
Definitely let us know.
I absolutely will.
All right. Do we want to talk about what the Inquisitorious may look like in the future now, or do we want to do it after the break with the return of the Patreon leaderboard?
We could do it.
Let's do it after the break.
Do it after the break.
Let's do it after the break. Stick around, as I said. The return of the Patreon leaderboard is coming up in just a moment, right within these messages, right here on the Escape Pod cast.
spot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod. Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Patreon leaderboard. Welcome back to the Patreon leaderboard. It's been a little bit, and I apologize for that. But we are back, and we're going to tell you how our Patreons did in GA, just like we do for GA Center, seen on the Escape Podcast channel on Twitch every single Thursday night with Nev and Ranger from Reality Skewed Gamers. Would you like to be on the Patreon leaderboard as well? Well, join up at patreon.com/theescapepod, no cast, to join up. All right. At the Kyber Combatant level or higher. Let's take a look. See how everybody did. D goes 1-2, 2,476 banners, 21 wins, 5 losses, and 6 holds. Not bad for D. Dark Helmet also goes 1-2, 4,553, 37 up, 8 down, 7 holds. Dr. JoJo, an odd 2-1. Well, with the new skill matchmaking system, we're expecting to see some of this happen a little bit more often. He files a report 2-1 for the week, which was my own damn fault. Round 1 auto set, round 2 beat a guy with 1 million more GP easily. Round 3 versus a guy with 2 million more galactic power, but he messed up a C versus Rey, so he couldn't clear Lord Vader on the back wall. He couldn't beat his Jedi Master Kenobi or Jedi Master Luke, but he was more efficient and won by 8 banners. 4,012 banners for Dr. JoJo for the week, 34 wins, 13 losses, 5 holds. Horse Strong goes 2-1 as well. He also did file a report, so I get to read it. He beat a guy with 2 GLs who tried the FU defense on his way to a win. Stopped that with his own solid win. Round 2, he hit a lot of snags and was outplayed. But in round 3, the GL advantage was for him, and he got a full clear and promotion to a Rhodium 2. Congratulations, Horse Strong. Hot Sauce, who you're about to see coming up later on. He goes 2-1, 3,953 banners, 39 wins, 11 holds, 11 losses, 18 holds. And Sephironis also goes 2-1 for his division size. That's not bad at all. 2,841, 19, 2-4. The boards look like this. Hot Sauce, with his skill rating of 3953, takes the top spot in the tied 2-1 grouping. Dr. JoJo 3884 for his skill. Force Strong 3058. Sephironis at 2-1 with 2841 is his skill. Dark Helmet, he's sitting at 1-2 along with D, but because of 3693 versus 3175, he gets the spot above D. Guys, we would love to see you as I said, sign up at Kyber Combatant level or higher to join this leaderboard. I'd love to read your reports and report on you as well. And also be sure to check out GA Center, see how some of your favorite streamers did. And we'll see you guys next time. Be nice to each other, damn it.
We want you. Join the GAC Chain Gang today. This is the commander of the 506 Procrastination Battalion and the leader of the GAC Chain Gang. I am sending out a call to action for any SWGOH content creators on Twitch who would be willing to broadcast their GAC attack rounds alongside some of our best, including Mr. Jigabachi, Dr. Zeppers, Rico 1982, and the Bounty Honeys. What is the Chain Gang, you ask? We are an amazing group of content creators who are dedicated on streaming the Grand Arena Championship attack rounds on Twitch. The idea is to provide continuous content back-to-back from one streamer to the next and allow the viewers to enjoy more SWGOH content as well as enjoy the variety of streamers that are currently present in the group. If you are interested in joining the Chain Gang, please reach out to myself on Discord at AndyB's #7465, or you can send us a message on our Twitter page at ChainGAC. Join us today. We have your back.
You're listening to the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gents. Right, what were we going to talk about, Paul?
So, the Inquisitorious faction, Neil.
Yes, the Inquisitors, yeah.
So, with the way that the kit reveal showed, with her in the leader spot, other Inquisitors have a 30% chance to inflict one stack of Purge when using a basic ability. I'm thinking that all Inquisitors are going to share what their basic ability does as,
more than likely,
as their leader slot.
Yeah, no. It's more than likely, yeah,
so,
definitely.
I'm thinking
I can't see any more leaders coming out until we get the Grand Inquisitor, though.
They're gonna be no. I think each and every one is gonna have some sort of leader ability. And
really, why? What, a full team all with leader ability?
All of them would have leader abilities.
You do realize that a Moff Gideon and a Moff Gideon team would just stomp all over that, right?
Yeah. Yes, I do. But here's why. I think the Inquisitorious faction is going to be the marriage of Bounty Hunters and Phoenix. Bounty Hunters as in they all have a leader ability. Phoenix, that they're all sharing something. And then it's going to take it to the next level where each of their Omicrons are going to be for different modes.
Mm-hmm.
So while in territory wars, while in territory battles, while in Grand Arena, each and every single one of their Omicrons and leader abilities will be different to the point where you'll take them in a certain configuration to fight specific teams. This is going to be your Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
The Inquisitors are going to be a Swiss Army knife to any team that is not a GL out there. You're not going to want to put them on defense.
I'm just trying to think of the teams that it would have. You'd have. I mean, let's get one thing straight. A full team of Inquisitors is going to be for offense only. There's going to be no point in defense. Imperial troopers would just stomp all over a team of Inquisitors.
Especially a Moff Gideon team, yes.
Especially a Moff Gideon, yeah. It's just going to stomp all over them. So this is going to be purely for offense. So
Dickie's saying they confirmed all Inquisitors will have a leader, and each will target a specific Jedi leader.
Yeah. Well, if they are indeed all going to have leadership, this is a team that you're not going to see on defense. So the kits are probably going to be all offense. There's not going to be any.
Well, the Inquisitors have always been all about offense only.
Yeah. What I mean is, it's not going to. It's not going to be the mechanics the character mechanics aren't really going to offer anything of survivability. It's going to be, to try and get the kill in there as fast as possible. It's going to be one of those squads that, it's gone in 60 seconds. If you haven't killed your opponent in the first 60 seconds, you're probably going to have a bad day. But yeah.
Bones says maybe they'll synergize with the next GL. I highly doubt that the next GL will be an Inquisitor. Thaddeus says, how would they synergize with Jabba the Hutt? So, I mean, but do you see where, with the fact that they're going to share with their leader ability, their basic ability, that's where I think that the love child of Phoenix comes into play. And with the bounty hunters, them all having the leader ability to benefit each other, that's that.
Yeah.
I really, truly look forward to how this faction will play out, but they're definitely, as you said, going to be only offense. You put them on defense, there's going to be a counter that you will find easily.
I just hope that we get, I just really, really hope that we get the Inquisitors from Rebels and the Grand Inquisitor. I really want to see, I would love to see the Grand Inquisitor. I think it was such an awesome, an awesome character in Rebels. Like really, really, I mean, it doesn't hurt that they, got an A-lister to do the voice for the Inquisitor in Jason Isaacs, who I still think will play the live action Thrawn. But yeah, he's just such a great character. I'd love to see the Grand Inquisitor. 4 Inquisitors under that would be pretty sweet. And there's no doubt in the back of my mind that they would be, one of those off meta counters for GLs that everybody would chase. It's not going to be like, one of those teams that can do over all,
using the right configuration, possibly.
Right configuration, right configuration, right characters. It'll be like a Mara Jade. Mara Jade can take out a JML and a Ray if done right. It's not going to take out any of the other GLs, but it's nice to have a team in your back pocket that can take out a GL, especially if you want to put your GLs on defense for whether it be for GAC or for territory wars.
So, all right, let's get into what we kind of teased, a Nev rant, not necessarily a Nev rage.
No,
but you have a bone to pick with Kyle Katarn.
Yes, I do. I do have a bone to pick. It is, and it's a big bone to pick. With regards to Kyle Katarn, as if the character wasn't already, a cash grab, which clearly it was. You need to take the character to Relic 5 in order to go for Star Killer. As far as I'm concerned, that's and it's a great character. But as far as I'm aware, definitely worth the cheddar.
He's going in my Mothma team. He is my current. He is my current farm because he's going into my Mothma team.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's where my gripe is. It's the farm. They'd already put Dash Rendar in the Cantina, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, fine. There's 4 characters. There's Mara, Talon, and Rendar and Katarn. So maybe 1 in Cantina. Maybe a couple in, one on a light side node, 1 on a dark side node, maybe 1 on a ship node. But they've brought Kyle out and they've put him in Cantina as well. And I just think that that's a real crappy thing to do. I do. I genuinely think it's a crappy thing to do.
I just finished Dash when Kyle showed up.
Well, bully for you. I haven't even started farming for him yet because it's Cantina.
Well, it's only 12 energy. If you do it right, If you spend your 3 refreshes on Cantina Energy, you get 40 pulls a day. I'm averaging 15 shards per day of Kyle Katarn.
Yes, but not all of us can afford the crystals to do that. You know, some of us can only afford 1 refresh because they're saving crystals for an executor, you know? And, you know, all of the crystals, you know, all
Get
of the
good,
farming
bro.
is going on relic materials.
Get good.
Get good. No, look, I just think that I mean, it's as much as I would love for ships to, you know, I'm under no illusion. You know, we keep asking for ships, we're not going to get them until we stop asking for ships. You know, then they'll be like, right, they've stopped asking for ships, give them ships. But because we keep asking for new ships, they're never going to give us ships. And obviously, you know, ships would be any new ships that they brought in would go onto the fleet notes to give us something else to farm. But you know, it's not like they're in a rush at the moment and haven't been in a rush for ages to give us new ships. So I don't see any new ships on the horizon, especially now that they're giving us bloody Inquisitors. So I really thought that some of these characters that they'd recently brought out, you know, Iden, Talon, Mara, I thought that they would throw at least 2 or 3 of them on ship nodes so that we could farm them there and have something other than Omega to farm. You know, I just thought something like that would be nice. And, you know, just seeing 2 characters back to back put on the Cantina node. Let me ask, because I haven't farmed them, I don't know. Is it a double node?
Is what a double node?
The nodes that they've been put on, was there something already farmable from that node? Character or
no,
ship?
It's not a double node anymore. Like they're
you see what I mean?
Kyle Katarn is just Kyle Katarn. Dash Rendar is just Dash Rendar.
You see, and they've reversed on that. You see, that was one of the best things I thought that they did. That was one of the best things they did. With a bunch of new, you know, with some new characters at the beginning of last year, they'd bring in a new character and they would put it, when they brought it in for farming, they'd put it on a node where something already existed.
That has been there for a while.
Yeah, exactly. They did it with Fennec. When they made Fennec Shand farmable, I was like, oh, that's, you know, they put her on the same node as a ship. And I'm like, that's brilliant. That's really, really good because it's good for the retention of new players because they're getting, you know, it's a 2-for-1. They're getting a ship and they're getting a character. And with more characters, I was about to say more ships and with at least more characters coming into the game, it would be nice if they would continue with this double up. And they have
one ship, one character. Yeah, one ship, one character per node.
One ship, one character would be nice, but I mean, 2 characters on a node is even nicer. I just wish that they'd continued in that vein. And this is they haven't, you know, that they just haven't done it. And these aren't characters that new or intermediate players are going to go for straight away because obviously the ultimate reward for Kyle, Dash, Talon, and Mara is Starkiller. But you've got to have all 4 characters at Relic 5. And, you know, newer players coming into the game, even some of the intermediates, they're going to be wanting to spend the majority of their, relic materials on the characters going towards your GL. And I just think, you know, that they could have really, really put a smile on the community's face by putting them on nodes for doubles and putting them on nodes that weren't Cantina. That's all.
So I think you're like me in this situation where you would actually love to be a fly on the wall at the meetings of where do we put these characters for farming.
Yeah, I would. I would love to be in one of those meetings.
Just to observe.
Yeah, just to observe. Because, you know, I imagine somebody's like, oh, what can we do, you know, to squeeze, you know, what can we do to squeeze the the whales and the krakens? And it's like, well, we could make them farm this, and it's like, and then somebody on the other side of the desk sticks their hand up and goes, yeah, but that's stupid because the whales and the krakens have already bought the characters.
Right.
So all you're doing is, annoying the free-to-play and the dolphins that don't want to spend their money on Cantina.
I don't spend
crystals on Cantina because they're farming for relic materials,
This is the way that I've done every single character since the Legacy Legends characters. Every single one, I have first opened packs to get to 65. Whenever I get to 65, I stop. Then I grab the $20 pack for the gear to get them up so I can open up all the abilities. And then I do the marquees. That's how it's been since the beginning of the Legends characters. If I hit 330 along the way, I don't have to do crap, to be honest with you.
Hey, look, I will happily spend more crystals farming for. I will happily spend more crystals farming for relics, so that I can spare maybe 100 farming for Karl-Katan. I'll hold off on Dash. Dash is fine at 3 stars. He's fine. He's okay at 3 stars. I don't feel the immediate need to do him. But I would really, really I'd love to have Karl-Katan at 7 stars so that I can just not high, just put him at get into gear 13, maybe have him at relic 3, just to throw on my Mon Mothma team, just to make that Mon Mothma team more of a pain in the ass.
Who are you putting on that Mon Mothma
really
team, by the way? Because I'm going Pow, Cara Dune, and Hoth Rebel Scout.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Karl-Katan on my Mon Mothma team at the moment at 3 stars, gear 11, and he's fine.
But who's the other 3? Who are your other 3 on that Mothma team?
Oh, right. The other 3 on that. Hang on a minute. I'll tell you. I've got the game open up in front of me. I will tell you. My Mon Mothma team with Karl-Katan in it is Wiggs and Cassian.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Wiggs, so it's Cassian. I was gonna put
so you don't
Cara
do
Dune
Pow.
in there instead. I was gonna put.
It's interesting.
I was gonna do Cara instead of Cassian, but I like the random debuffs that Cassian puts out, because it just. My Mon Mothma team isn't there to hold. My Mon Mothma team is there to strip banners from my opponents. And I tried it with Cassian, and I tried it with Cara, and over the period of 1 month, I stole more banners with that team with Cassian there than with Mara. So yeah, I figured I'll stick with Cassian. Took out K2SO and put in Karl-Katan. It strips banners. It might not necessarily get a hold, but it stops my opponent getting max banners on that team. Unless somebody takes Imperial Troopers against it. If someone takes Imperial Troopers against that team, they're getting max banners.
No. Poor Pimpinelli, B Pimple, as I like to call him. Says, my poor alt account, oh my gosh, this guy gave me the FU defense, and I'm out GP'd by 2.5 million.
Sucks to be you.
Is this a product, Neil, of the Squishening?
No. It's we said from the beginning that the first 3 months, the matchmaking was still going to be janky. It was still going to be janky, and the first week of the second month, there was some really, really tough groups, but until everybody's got 36 rounds under their belt, I just can't see that the matchmaking just isn't going to always make sense for everybody. It just isn't. I mean, some people have easier matchups, some people don't. But you've also got to take into consideration a lot of big teams that were in Kaiba in month 1 are now in Erodium because they got relegated. So that probably, a lot of people in Erodium are going to get some real nasty matchups from accounts that were in Kaiba in month 1. So I imagine the opponents that got matched with the B Pimp, it's probably an account that got relegated from Kaiba because they didn't play enough, or they played so poorly that they still got relegated. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, mate. I mean, he's got more GP than you, and he's FU'd you. I would check his history and find out how many times last month he DNS'd. Because I would hazard a guess that he sets the FU defense and then DNSs. And if he's a DNS, it doesn't matter that he set you an FU. All you got to do is put some banners on the board and get the win, mate.
Yeah, if they don't show
up, it's not
up,
all doom and gloom.
That's a thing that's been bugging the daylights out of me on most of the open forums, is people complaining about the fact that they're doing well enough that they're facing these crazy disparities.
Yeah.
You rock, your opponent sucks. It understands. It's understandable.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Which is why I say that by the time everybody's got 36 rounds at the end of the 3rd month, going into the 4th month, everybody will have 36 rounds under their belt. So you'll have, a decent, you'll have a decent number of wins, a decent number of losses. I mean, you might be somebody that has bugger all wins and a hell of a lot of losses. But at the end of the 3 months, those people are going to be, either in Erodium or in Chromium. So they're no longer your problem. They're Erodium and Chromium problems, but
because you won't face somebody out of your league. You may face them out of your division, but you'll never face anybody out of your league.
No, and sometimes you probably, you just need to get lucky. You need to be, one of those people that gets promoted a division as, a bunch of heavy accounts are getting relegated so that you don't get matched with them,
Yeah. So let's take a look at the quick. Let's take a quick look at the calendar. We have an Assault Battle Military Might coming up on February 3rd. February 9th is the Empire versus Ewoks or Imperial Troopers, depending on what way you like to go along that. Places of Power, which is a very, very good one to farm, as Warrior has told us, on the 14th. The Ground War is on the 19th against the Separatists. Rebel Roundup is on the 23rd. And then, of course, the one that nobody can beat is at the end of the month on the 28th.
Yes.
The Night Sister one.
The Night Sister one. Yeah, exactly. The one that nobody can beat. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about that one either. So also an alert the day after Valentine's Day, which apparently is the National Day of the Canada Flag, by the way. I looked at ahead on my calendar on my wall outside the studio and saw National Canadian Flag Day on the 15th of February. That is when the Executor comes back. So if your Valentine gets you any gift cards, that's when you spend them, Neil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're free to play, and so
yeah, exactly.
I don't know why I'm saying that to you.
Me no care. Although I will say I do like the I'm liking the logging character cadence at the moment. I think it's great that they're doing, it's Imperial Troopers, Shore Trooper this month, and then in previous months We've had the range trooper. Didn't we get Death Trooper recently as well? Trying to think.
Lots of Empire.
But hey, I just think it's great that you know it's extra Imp Trooper shards for those people that might not necessarily have already farmed. I mean, I've already farmed for the Imp Troopers.
Let's address a myth real quick. Wolf Phil says the point is you only get the win. With beating one or two teams, you won't get the skill points, and because of the squeezing, you get relegated and lose crystals by dropping divisions. The squishening does not affect your division.
No, the squishening doesn't affect your division.
And also, nothing banners. It's win or loss. Banners only matter in the game mode. You do not get extra skill points for getting less banners than anybody else. It's win or loss. That is all.
That was something that I thought. It's the skill rating. I mean, if you finish third over fourth, then you're going to get an extra skill rating point. But you're only going to, it's like one, you know?
And obviously it depends on what order you got those wins and losses in.
Yeah. Because I must admit,
I lost to.
I know, because what is it? The first month I went 2-1 every single week, and I was always finishing either third or fourth. I would never get the second spot, and it would bug the crap out of me because I'm like, come on, man, you know. So I'd lost, you know. So that's four or 8 skill rating points that I missed out on, which kind of sucked. But yeah, no, because and the promotions are kind of weird as well. Because I started in that first month in Kyber 4, and I got promoted to Kyber 3 off the back of a 2-1. Which I thought was a bit weird, and I've just been in Kyber 3 ever since. I just look at the bottom end and the top end, and I keep thinking to myself, don't drop, because I don't want to get relegated. I just want to stay. So I got the win. So I've got the 1-loss buffer that stops me getting relegated. Just keep an eye on your bracket. Keep an eye on the difference from being relegated and being promoted. If you don't want to be promoted, just watch and work out, right, if I win, I'm going to get X amount of skill rating points.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get promoted, then don't win. You know, I'm not suggesting you throw the match, but if you don't want to get promoted, you know, use it as an opportunity to test some counters, or, you know, test some different defenses. It's probably going to, you know, if you're not playing your usual way, it's probably going to have some unintended consequences. But if you're using it as a learning experience because you don't want the win, because you want to maintain the division that you're in and not get matched against tougher people, then you can do that. And similarly, if you know you're on the cusp, if you're like within 20 or so skill rating points from being relegated, and you don't want to be relegated because you know that you're then going to have to win in the next week in order to get promoted back up. I mean, just just take the time to look at what your skill rating is. Go on to the leaderboards, see who it is you're going to get matched against, and try and work out in your head, right, I'm going to need to do this, I'm going to need to beat at least these 2 people. Just do a little bit of research, do some homework, and just keep just keep your eye on your skill rating, keep an eye on your division, and don't worry so much about the squishening. You might lose some skill ratings, but you're never going to lose skill rating points that get you relegated. And if something like that were to happen, then you could well and truly kick off to Crumb, because Crumb said that nobody will be relegated as a result of the squishening. So you just got to keep your just keep your eyes on. You might get squished, and it might take you closer to relegation, but it won't get you relegated. So you could get your skill rating squished, and it could put you within 1 loss of getting relegated, then yeah, sure, you might be a little bit
if you're at the
like that.
If you're at the bottom of a division, you best be going to try to win at all 3 matches. Otherwise, you could get relegated. 2-1 does not mean you have a positive skill score.
No, 2-1 does.
No.
2-1 does give you a positive.
No, it doesn't. I went 2-1 and I dropped 5. It's happened.
You dropped 5 what?
I dropped 5 skill points after going 2-1 during a week. I've been keeping track. Remember, I'm the guy who does all the numbers.
Okay.
So, it's happened. If you do not want to drop, go 3-0. We'll be back after these messages in the Escape Podcast for Kids with the interview live with HotUtils crew right after these messages.
HotBot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with the digital features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello there, Padawans, and welcome back to Storytime with Uncle Thad and the Escape Podcast for kids. Tonight we're going to talk about a character that I have been saying is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for years now. None other than the second sister from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, formerly known as Trilla Suduri. The second sister was originally a Jedi Padawan before the events of Order 66 and the Great Jedi Purge. Student to Jedi Knight Sarah Junda, she was eventually captured and imprisoned at the fortress Inquisitorious on the planet Nur. During her imprisonment, Trilla was tortured and succumbed to the dark side. It was at this time that her former master attempted to rescue her. During Trilla's interrogation, her master staged this rescue attempt, which ultimately resulted in the murder of all the Imperials involved in Trilla's interrogation. It was pretty brutal, but by this time, Trilla had already fallen to the dark side. When her master saw what she was wearing she was wearing this Imperial garb, Trilla's transition from Jedi to Inquisitor was complete, and thus she became the Jedi hunting Inquisitor we know today. Second Sister was the key antagonist in the EA Star Wars video game Jedi Fallen Order. She, along with a team of Purge Troopers, Dark Troopers, and other members of the Inquisitorious, scoured the galaxy to find any Jedi who survived Order 66. As an Inquisitor, the second sister wore the traditional black and gray Inquisitor attire and carried a double-bladed spinning lightsaber. She rarely took off her helmet, but when she did, you could see the darkness in her eyes. Now, with that, let's take a look at her kit and how she measures up in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. As far as her tags, the second sister is an unaligned Force-using Imperial leader. Since she left the Jedi Order and became one of the Inquisitorious, calling her anything other than an unaligned Force user would be inaccurate. While she did strive to prove herself to Lord Vader, she was never raised above anything outside of the level of Inquisitor. Her basic ability, and one of the cool things about this basic ability is it introduces a new ability called Purge. This ability highlights the fear that the Inquisitorious strikes into the heart of all remaining Jedi. The longer the Inquisitors fight against the Jedi, the likelier they are to win. Her first special ability is a jump attack that we saw the second sister perform in Jedi Fallen Order a few times. In SWGOH, it's a crazy powerful attack that deals 150% damage penetration with a whole heap of other critical chance and critical damage accompanying it. What's cool about her second special ability is that it directly hints that we are getting more Inquisitors. In fact, in their interview with the Galactic War Report, the devs specifically said that more Inquisitors are coming. I mean, they didn't specifically say that, but it was like really hinted, like so hinted that it was obvious that more are coming. I mean, that's why they gave us the tag. You wouldn't give a tag to just one person. I mean, so it makes total sense. Now, her leadership ability is an interesting one as well. It looks like she's going to be a pretty useful tool in Territory Wars. What stands out to me, though, is that since she's not the only Inquisitor, I'm really curious to know if the other Inquisitors will get or will be more effective as leaders. Again, throwing back to the Galactic War Report, they did say that the different Inquisitors will have different leadership abilities that will make use of how those Inquisitors used the various drones at their beck and call. But for now, we can rely on her to be a solid leader and to the lesser used Imperial characters. Finally, what makes her unique ability so interesting is that it truly shows what the Empire thought of many of their servants. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was expendable. And when someone died, there was always a new person to take their place. So seeing that the Inquisitors are getting buffs for other people dying seems pretty legit. Well, that's it for me this week. As I mentioned above, it's clear that this is just the first Inquisitor in a long line of the Inquisitorious. So be sure to tune in next week for more story time with Uncle Thad on the Escape Podcast for Kids. Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways want you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hey there, listeners. Merchandise specialist Critty K here. Do you enjoy the Escape Pod and want to support the channel and get something a little extra for yourself as well? Head on over to tpublic.com/user/theescapepodcast and grab a Team Neil, Team Paul, Critty Play, or many other fun Padawan designs on your choice of shirt, cup, sticker, mask, or even a magnet. And be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast Discord and get the latest info on the other designs I make as well. Sometimes there's even a sale going on, so it is smart to stop on by. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod Cast.
Attention, we are receiving an incoming transmission. Attention. Attention. We are receiving an incoming transmission.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's incoming transmission. As you can see, it's a big one. We have a lot of people here. The last time we did something this big was last year, and it was the exact same crew, but we had them on for a lot longer. The reason why I wanted to bring them back this time is because of, well, the importance of GAC. So I'm going to introduce the person right smack bang in the middle. Hot Sauce, introduce your crew to us, please.
Hi, and thanks for having us. So I'm Hot Sauce. You guys all probably know me. I was kind of the one that had started HotUtils. I'm no longer the sole runner of HotUtils, that's for sure. I've got quite a team now with me. I got Two Step here. He's one of the lead devs. He does a lot of the, well, right now he's been really focused on doing the version 2 of our bot, which we can talk about a bit, which is hopefully coming. If Two Step has his way, we'll have the beta right away.
As soon as you stop slacking, we're gonna
go. He's kind of been a big part of different sections of the website. I've got Swerve here, that he's our key support guy. Nice. He does a ton of work for us, in and around the Discord server, helping coordinate things. I mean, again, all these guys are irreplaceable to me right now. I've got Creator. He's one of our. Hello. He's not new anymore, but he's one of the most recent devs, but he's been with us quite a while now. He's really been focused on, you'll see the squad management piece, the territory battle defense, or territory battle side of things, the TW defense planner, the GAC defense planner. So he's been kind of in a lot of the website of that. We've got Strange here. He's kind of been with us from the start and had his hands in a lot of things, but his baby is the mod playground, mods, templates, those kind of things. So
yeah, we've been hearing hearing Strange's name a lot on Twitch recently, because he's been doing a lot of collaborating with the playbook.
That's right. Yep.
And then of course there's Hot Sauce, the brainchild. I have to do my master of ceremonies bit. The brainchild, the mother in a father's body that pumped out one of the greatest things that has ever come to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the introduction to your crew. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hotbot crew.
Thank you again.
It's great to have you on. I just want to start off with the last time we had you on, it was really to talk about how version 2, you were bringing version 2 to life. Now that was at least 6 months ago. It may be even longer.
Yeah, the announcement of that version 2 is coming.
The announcement of that version 2 coming. A lot's happened since then, and one of the biggest two things to happen since then is the reworking of Territory Wars and, drumroll, GAC getting the biggest rework of them all, because now it's become more important because that's where the crystals are. So what have you been doing to HotUtils since we last spoke that kind of makes you even more valuable to the community as like this all-encompassing tool that everybody gets to use?
So it has been I think it's been 11 months, because I joined your guys' Patreon literally I think the day of when you had us on last. And it's coming due now next month. So it's literally been 11 months, I think. Since then,
thank you for the sponsorship, by the way.
You're welcome. Since then, it was a lot of work into the territory battles, the mod playground, the defense tools, and then, as you said, the game really changed on us. It really the different requirements for guild, the importance shifted and whatnot, and then so now we've been taking a real focus on the TW defense side of things, the GAC defense side of things. Many of you will be aware the GAC defense planning and being able to just have the system place all your defenses for you in a round, and you be able to have saved plans was a key thing. We're in beta now with territory wares, the same thing. especially guys that run multiple accounts, you can spend a lot of time now placing a lot of different teams in territory wars and GAC. And so it was about allowing officers to kind of set up plans and then place it. So that our focus has been on those two things. I know Two Step had done a bunch of work on Conquest, because back when Conquest became a real grind, trying to help people. So there's some tools related to try and help people through the hard conquests and whatnot. So we kind of just shift our focus to, what people are looking for. Now, a real big project for us, though, has been we did the big launch of version 2. That was version 2 of the website. We're essentially in the final stages and about to enter beta on a complete rework of the bot side of things in Discord, which is going to be huge. And we're being forced into it in a way.
I wanted to ask you that because you said Discord wants you to fully move to / commands.
Not just us, all bots on Discord. So what for some reason, Discord, maybe people have different Discord experiences than me, but apparently bots spying on people is some big concern with Discord. So what they're doing is all bot accounts won't be able to read the messages that you just type in channels. So right now, that's the way most bots work. You have some magic prefix that you type, like an exclamation point or a $sign or a tilde or whatever, and then you type some command and the bot reads that message and does something with it. And they don't want that, so for privacy reasons, and that's coming as of April. So
I don't know, did that apply to small bots too? Two Step, like it might be
if you're doing really little bots, so like if you have less than 100 servers, I think you might be able to do it. But I think that even that, like they said, for now they're not going to crack down on that. But I mean, we're well over 100 servers. I don't actually even know the number, but Hot Sauce, I'm sure it's into the several hundreds of servers, because I mean, people just leave it on their random server, even if their guild disbands or whatever, and the server is still kicking. The bot's still there. But so that's sort of forcing our hand with it. And it, to be fair, it's not just like a change for the sake of change. It gets us some really nice features. So you can do things like have buttons and stuff in Discord and drop downs and all sorts of UI that let you have, more than just a sort of type some text and hope that you formatted it right and hope that you put the options in the right order and all that sort of stuff.
Thank you, Two Step. Thank you very much for that. The thing, though, that you told Neil was it'll allow you to bring features to Discord like Bronzium opening.
It's already there. I actually did it in like 2 days last week because I was like, I wonder if I can do this.
Does it tell you what you got?
Yeah, I can choose, like the site could always do this as well. Like, we could choose what you say, but like you don't want to know what like random blue piece of gear you got, right? Like that would be a really just forever scrolling list of nonsense. But it actually edits the message. So you type it now /Bronziums and you could say open 100 Bronzium packs, whatever, and it will keep editing its message saying, okay, you got 57 character shards now, 300 character shards now. And it will mark when you get a full Mark III carb.
I want to know. I want to turn it into a slot machine when I'm not playing my my account. I want people to be able to spend one of my Bronziums, and if they get something, they get a roll in the server. Can we do that?
Can you? Yeah, could you do that? Would be so much fun if we could just literally, like, I don't know, just some little image. 3 reels, and you put your Bronziums in and you pull the lever.
Well, it's funny, actually. Discord had this developers meeting today, and they had asked people for questions. And I actually submitted a question because the main problem is they're adding some UI, but they don't let us do lots of cool things like having little animated images and stuff like that, right? So you're still limited by what Discord lets you have, and the problem with allowing people to do that is, now, you'd think that would be great, except that someone's going to type that command while you're in the middle of some GAC battle, and it's going to break your connection, and then you're going to get.
You can turn it off and on.
All right. Well, if that's a feature that you can convince Hot Sauce to allow, then you can do that.
/Bronzium roulette enable /Bronzium roulette disable.
Well, they will have to make a new Patreon tier for you for that.
So, You wanted to bring up, the fact that these loadouts, who was the brainchild of the loadouts?
So Strange is, I'll let Strange.
That was Strange. Yeah, Strange. Tell me about, what went in to, can you do this with ships for us, please?
Before Strange talks, I think I issued a challenge in a way that I didn't realize a long time ago, and that was that, can we ever get to the point where we can build a guild template that has a bunch of requirements, and then at some point would the system ever be able to be smart enough to then just remod any guild member's roster to try and help them remod it to match that template without them having to do much? And I think Strange somehow took that literally, because boy, he's been pushing closer and closer to that goal every day I see it.
Oh God, I would love to remod some people Bones roster.
Yeah, there's always a couple of people who are in your guild, and it's like, yeah, that team really shouldn't have lost, dude. What mods have you got on those characters? And it's like, that's why you lost. And
gotta love those 3-dot mods, man. Gotta keep those around for something.
I don't understand why people do. Well, I do understand, because they look at it and it's like, yeah, I know it's a 4-dot, but it's got 100 offense on it. It's like, yeah, but the remaining stats suck. Just keep farming.
I keep one 4-dot mod on one of my characters just to test all of the features we have about like not letting you interact with 4-dot mods and stuff, but that's the only one I've got.
And then eventually you'll accidentally sell it and be like,
no, that's why I put it on the character, so I can't do that. It's on some, like, Kit Fisto or whatever the fuck, I mean, someone who doesn't not really useful.
So Strange, what was it like, putting this GAC loadout system in?
Well, I can talk to you about the thing that we introduced called Loadout Definitions. And I think that's what you're talking about. A traditional loadout, like the old school loadout, just had a bunch of units and the mods that those units had assigned to them. It didn't really have any what we call metadata or definition about that loadout. So a big feature that we released in the last, I'd say 6 months, was we added this concept of a definition to a loadout. And what it has is, for each unit, you can weight different stats. You can put primary and secondary. You can put primary restrictions on units and stat restrictions on units. And when you're going through and modding, when you save the loadout, that definition gets saved in the loadout and retained with it. And then when you're using Playground, you can kind of see highlighted when you break those restrictions. So that was a nice feature to give some definition to what you're trying to do, because sometimes, I don't know if you guys have ever run into this, like you might create a loadout for an LSTB battle with a squad, and when you make it, you watch a video that some content creator created, and they tell you exactly how to mod everything. So you make the modding setup, and then 6 months later you go and you're like, I forget totally what I did and why I did it. And it's nice to save that in the loadout now, those stat weights and those, hey, I want this character to have, crit damage set and this kind of triangle, crit avoid triangle or whatever. All that metadata gets saved in the loadout.
It's not as pretty, if you will, as Grand Ivory, but it performs better in my opinion. So major props
does it have the,
to the performance end.
Does it have the RNG God disclaimer?
No, yeah,
because I think there should be an RNG God disclaimer in there that not all RNG gods like this loadout, and they will screw you over from time to time. Because the first 2 times I was like, yes, I've got the best mod squared away, and I used the loadout, and it's like I was done. I was ready for the cam mission, and then RNGesus and the RNG gods went, we don't care how good your mods are.
Exactly. And
it's like, damn, I wasted like 10 minutes doing that. And
well, that's the idea, is that you waste 10 minutes once with this stuff. I mean, this is really powerful, right? Because like,
exactly,
I make my cam setup once, and then I get better mods 6 months later, and I can just click a button and like sort of update that to have now my best new mods, right? And this is really cool stuff.
Exactly. That's one of the features that I think we really, really need to put out there and highlight out, that you can update these mod loadouts when the better mod comes along. So you might just have that, you might have that speed arrow on one of your loadouts that you want to be, I don't know, crit avoidance with, a 25 speed on it, which we know, are few and far between, and RNG just doesn't like giving those out. But when you get one, you want that put into the mod loadout.
I got like 3 of them. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I have 2. All right, I have 2. One's crit and one's health. So I guess I need to farm harder.
Yeah.
And one of the things we've done with the definitions is we built a sharing feature into it. So when you create the definition that isn't specific to your roster, you can then share it with guildmates or allies. And I think you mentioned earlier that we've been doing a lot of work with Fatal, and he's one of the people who have been building a ton of loadout definitions for us and sharing them globally. So you can go into the tool and you can actually see, here's Fatal's loadout definition for Imperial troopers, and you'll load it up, and then all of a sudden it's got your restrictions for turn order and modding and speed and exactly how he's using it.
Yeah, he's cool. As we said when we talked to him, I think it was 2 weeks ago. He literally will spend an hour deciding which mod goes where. Zverb, what it's been, as Hot Sauce pointed out, it's been a year. What's been the favorite thing that you've done this past year in the bot?
Definitely the loadout definitions as well. I helped Strange developing the whole play around concept. He involved me a lot in it, and I run a mod optimization business as professionally, so being able to use the definitions
Pimpo?
And what did
He's
you say?
better than Pimpo.
Oh, okay. I was making sure. I was wondering if we finally got Pimpo on the show.
He's Pimpo, but doesn't spend like whatever it is, 10 grand a week on whatever Pimpo's spending it on.
That's me. I'm switching.
Switching. Yeah. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I needed to make a joke.
At all. Well, as Strange mentioned, sharing is a big part of the loadout definitions, and when working with mods daily with a lot of different people, I can perfect these definitions and then I can apply them to a lot of people during a short amount of time. So it really makes my work easier, but this could also be implemented on your guild. So if you have some dedicated members that will perfect some loadout definitions, then you can share that to your entire guild and get better territory wars modding, GAC modding, conquest modding, territory battles modding. Any part of the game you can help your guild members perfect, and that's a very big part for me, the sharing sense of it.
Swerve, let me tell you a story about Swerve's sharing, because we just did Darkside TB, right? And there's a stupid Dooku mission, right? Which is sort of a pain, but there's some various strategies to work. And I was asking Swerve, do you have some good way of doing this? Because he actually had done some remodding, and he actually made a loadout definition, which is globally shared, which anyone can use, which my guild now, a whole bunch of people in my guild all applied it. And now everyone gets 2 out of 2 on that thing.
Wow.
And all they have to do is load it up, click go, and then click load, and then they're all set.
And then hit auto, right?
Yeah, they hit automate, and then they hit load, and you go.
No, I'm talking about in the game. They hit
in the
auto.
Battle, you hit auto, and you just win. and like he did that.
I do that.
It took him maybe 10 minutes or something to make this loadout, but now it's saved all these people tons of time, and it's incredibly easy to share. I mean, I think the sharing thing is like key for how. It's a big area of the game that is completely out of the game, right? There's no way in the game for me to even show you I guess in theory I could go to guild manage and find your profile and look at your character and look at the mods on them and all this sort of stuff. But I can't say to someone, hey, look, this is a good team for TW in game, right? It's just not possible, right? And so I think us enabling more sharing like that is incredibly powerful for a lot of people. And it's, within guilds, within, content creators, all that sort of stuff. I mean, content creator stuff, we're doing tons of stuff, for things like as Hot Sauce mentioned, Conquest, right? There's all these people like Bit Dynasty and Skelturix or whatever who are making these Conquest guides when new Conquests come out, right?
And
Here's how to do it. Yeah. Here's how to do feats on this one. Here's how to do feats in this sector, right? And we make it really easy to link that stuff in the site so that you can say, okay, what am I actually supposed to use for this? How do I, mod them if you have to get down to the level, or what team do I use here? How can I double dip and get a couple of these feats together? And, but we're never going to know as developers everything to do there. but we can enable these content creators to advertise essentially, but it's good advertising because it's relevant to your interest, right? It's actually targeted advertising that works, right? Like
hot sauce. So being able to do this whole remod of a fellow guild member, what is that going to entail that is needed as far as, I don't really want to say price point, but level of support that you do? Does each member of the guild have to be a Hotbot member? What's the prerequisite for me to remod Bones' roster?
Right now, if you want the system to be able to reach into the game and completely move all your mods around, you do still have to be a Chili subscriber. We can't do that any other way because it has to go through kind of our connection onboarding process to get them up and running. It just takes so much time. So really the moving all your mods for you side of it is still a subscriber only.
Yeah.
However, you can.
I just wanted to make that clear. Yeah,
I just Grand Ivory style, bring up someone's ally code, remod them, and tell them, hey, here's where your mods need to go to meet these targets. That's still a possibility.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's only using their equipped mods. It won't use the mods that they don't have equipped on a character, just like
because they can't see it, just like Grand Ivory. Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because some people might have thought, oh, if I go, I could take care of my entire guild's No. Let's talk to Creator really quick because I don't want to I don't want to miss talking to him. You joined this team in the past year. What has been the most mind-blowing thing?
The mind-blowing thing, I think, let's separate in two categories.
Sure,
one
give us both.
That is unique. For example, it's the video content. The tool that we give it to all the content creators to use it for all our community. And second of all is everyone in their guild can add their own content for their guild or their alliance. This is something that I think it's unique. No one has it. And the mind-blowing, I think, is the territory battle platooning and territory war defense, that you can also place the squads through the game. Also the GAC, yes. And you can place the map through HotUtils.
What is your favorite thing that you've got your hands dirty with?
I think territory war.
He's just to sell what he's doing. There's some amazing stuff coming for Territory Wars. Like, it's in beta now, so guilds can participate in it now, but it should be hitting production pretty soon. And it's like, again, so the officers can build out their plan to extremely detailed assignments of what units they want to place in what zones across all 10 zones for all players. Click a button, it sends the message to DM every member saying place all these units in these spots. It's handling all that, so more complex assignments can be done. And then if they are a HotUtils subscriber, to pitch that up, we put this at our lowest tier of cherry. They can click a button if they've signed up, and it will go in game and place all those assigned units into all the right zones and stuff for them. So again,
including like fleets, like that's the best, almost the best part of all this stuff.
I didn't.
I don't have to get the wrong fucking TIE fighter for the 100th time, right? Like,
what is because I haven't looked at that part yet. I guess I missed that. Can it also do platoons in territory battles?
Yeah,
we don't have it placing them yet, but it will assign them.
Yeah.
Okay, well the placing, I just, I'd be more than happy to give everybody cherry in my guild to just have them place their damn stuff. Here, look, you go click this button. You're done. Okay, thanks.
I think I bet if TW and GAC didn't become so important, we might have like gone down the route of more like TB stuff, right? But like right now that it seems like that's what people want is like GAC and TW stuff. So we kind of got to focus in that area as best we can, right?
Bones is joking back with me saying, "Could it just play the game for me?" No, this saves you the time. You have to do the battles. That's all. That is what Hotbot is all about, and that is what we're very, very grateful for. Neil, final question to you, my friend.
How much would you love to see another matchup between Fatal and Arnold? Because the 1.9K people watching Fatal on Twitch beat Arnold is probably the best advertisement you're ever going to get for Utils.
That was all
everybody's going to be
that,
like,
we
how
take
did you do that?
Well, Arnold is also a HotUtils user.
I know,
mean, it's
he does.
worth pointing out. I mean, it's not like one of them is, one of them isn't.
I know they both.
Man, I hope they do. I hope we get to see more of the content creator head-to-heads. It's just so healthy for the game. It was so exciting. I loved all those streams. I mean, that whole competitive drive is probably why some of us, why a good chunk of us still, love the game and whatnot. So no, that was awesome. And you know what? I'm doing my hardest. I'm going to try a bit harder over these past. I think my ratings, I'm just over the 4K. I want to.
Yeah, you since you are not a streamer, you are on the Patreon leaderboard. Let me pull it up real quick.
You are currently 195 in the global rankings, Hot Sauce.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
Which is impressive.
He usually lost.
I'm just gonna put it out there now. If you would like, I will happily host your GAC. If you would like, because you're going to use your own tools. You're going to use HotUtils. So,
can we get someone to do his mods for him? Because
So, according to this, you are 3953.
My one account's higher than that, though. My one account.
Yeah, your top 200 account is 4002.
Okay. So the one that you have in the Patreon board, 3953, you are currently finally beating Dr. JoJo, which has been a monumental thing.
I've been consistently winning 2 and losing 1, and I've lost some matches I should never have lost. So if I just put a little more effort, I know I can climb up a bit. Like my 9.7 mil account should not lose to an 8.7 mil account. So I was like, I've had some sad losses over these last weeks.
Well, guys, this has been an absolute pleasure. Two Steps, Strange, Sverb, Creator, and also, obviously, Hot Sauce. Thank you all for spending some time on a Friday night with us, or Saturday morning in some of your cases. But we truly appreciate your support of the show, and we continue to tout as loud as we can the benefits of HotUtils. And
well, you got all our kickback money, right? I mean, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I'm pimping you guys out every chance I get.
Anytime somebody asks it in guild chat, how can I do this? HotUtils.
HotUtils.
I'm gonna have to up my Patreon here after.
Well, guys, coming up in just a moment, the last airing this month of Dickie and the Noob, and then after that, we're gonna get jiggy with Jigabachi right after these messages, right here on the Escape Podcast.
Hotbot in HotUtils is one of the most comprehensive tools for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With integration into the super useful mod tool Grand Ivory, HotUtils can help you tackle some of the most difficult aspects of the game.
Not sure how to mod your roster for a certain game mode?
Use one of the many filters that automatically assigns the right mods to the right character in accordance with your guild needs.
Now with additional features that can assist you and your guild officers in territory battles and territory wars, HotUtils is an amazing value.
And don't forget the useful tools for yourself in Grand Arena, like the in-depth and customizable compare feature.
Got multiple accounts like Neil, but not the time to remod them all?
With this one-stop utility, you can switch between your alts and never miss a mod upgrade or a mod switch before locking into GAC or Territory Wars.
Starting at just $5 a month, you don't want to miss out on these great tools.
HotUtils is the new official remodding service for the Escape Pod. Cast.
Visit HotUtils.com to learn more. That's HotUtils.com. And go ahead and spice up your Galaxy of Heroes experience.
Podawans, be sure to support the shows brought to you on the Escape Podcast Twitch and YouTube channel by becoming a Patreon. For as little as $2 a month, you can support us and get a little extra for yourself. With tiered rewards including access to Shitty Bill's Arena tracking bot, after-show access, inclusion in the GA Center leaderboards, behind-the-scenes access, and much more. There is something for everyone on our Discord server. Head on over to Patreon, that is patreon.com/The Escape Pod, and sign up today. Thank you for supporting and listening to the Escape Podcast.
Last month on the season finale of Hellion the Noob, frustrated with his partner's rampage, Newbie throws Hellenix over a barricade and down a shaft, effectively ending their partnership. Alone, confused, Newbie turned to retail therapy for answers. This is where he encountered the bounty hunter, Dickie Darkside, who was about to embark on a journey to find the elusive pirate, Hondo Onaka. Clearly on the rebound, Noob accepted to join him on this mission, and now we give you this series premiere of Dickie and the Noob. Hey Noob, great news, I've got a lead!
Oh, thank God, this is taking forever.
Noob, it's been 3 days. Do I need to get Yarmo in here to deal with your emotional regulators again?
No, I'm fine. So, where are we headed?
A place called the Island of Misfit Characters. It's a place where characters who probably should be in the game are sent to wait for their turn.
Seriously, they all just hang around on an island? That sounds weird, even for misfits.
Yeah, I hear it's a pretty weird place where people can go a little crazy. They've been abandoned by Lucasfilm, by CG. They've been left to fend for themselves for relevancy. But my informant says they developed their own strange little society with lots of weird rules, so please be on your best behavior. We really don't know what can set them off.
I am a model of composure, I promise.
Alright, we'll be approaching soon. Get ready.
Whoa, this place isn't what I was expecting. For some reason, I expected a frozen wonderland.
Just be on alert, newbie. Being stranded can have weird effect on people.
Who's that? Are you, sir? Okay, so this guy is certainly affected.
Let me handle this. Hello, Mr. Binks. I'm Dickie, and this is Newbie.
Marie, happy to meet you.
I understand this is an island where characters wait to be put into the game. Is that right?
Oh, muy, I love yours. Mr. Your humble servant.
Mr. Binks, have you heard of a pirate by the name of Hondo Onaka?
No, not really, no.
I'm sorry, are you mumbling no because you don't know him or because you're afraid? It kind of sounds a little bit like you're afraid.
And, you know, Lisa just loves love.
Is there someone here we can speak to, like a leader or something?
Lisa show you. Come on, Lisa show you. Your spectre weren't welcome.
This feels kind of weird.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just remember, these guys aren't used to visitors. This is new to them. I'm sure whoever is in charge will make more sense. Oh, I've heard of this guy. His name is Jabba the Hutt. He used to be a king in the underground. I'm sure he knows Hondo. Greetings, Mr. the Hutt. We have come here in search of Hondo Onaka. Do you have a translator? I don't really speak Hutt, or Hutties, whatever you call your beautiful language.
Hey, I'm sorry. I've learned to speak a little Hutties since I've been here. I can help out. He says if you find that expletive pirate, bring him to me and tell him he owes me money. There's a reward in it for you.
Sure. I'll be glad to help. Do you have any leads?
He says the last person on the island to see him is the old man in the cave. Come, I'll bring you there.
Thanks! I really appreciate the help, by the way.
My pleasure. It's nice to see new faces around here. It seems like the flow of new people kind of slowed down.
Yeah, well, you can blame Disney for that. They seem to only want to make Marvel movies these days, whatever those are. Have you been here a long time?
A few years. I thought I was getting off for a second Lord knows the resistant fleet needed reinforcement, but they gave me the NPC treatment. Can you believe that? They replaced me with an AI?
I'll have you know, AIs are just as valuable as organics. You meatbags are so arrogant. Meatbag. Meatbags. Damn it! This isn't coming out like it's supposed to.
Your droid seems kind of glitchy.
He's been through some changes recently. He's just adapting. Don't mind him.
I can hear you.
So, what can you tell us about this old man?
Not much. He just sits in his cave and mutters something about how he should have seen it coming.
Hey, I'm Dickie. This is Noob. We were told you may have some info about the location of Hondo Onaka.
The droid we seek is aboard the Millennium Falcon. In the hands of your father.
Hondo isn't a droid. He's a pirate. Wears goggles, spiky head, and my dad sells used speeders on Coruscant. I assure you he has nothing to do with this.
If what you say about this girl is true, bring her to me.
This guy is wackier than the first one. Like, full-on cuckoo clock with rusted batteries.
Such spunk, my worthy apprentice, son of darkness. Where there was conflict, I now sense resolve. Where there was weakness, strength.
Dickie, can we get out of here? I'm feeling kind of weird.
Yeah, I think this is going nowhere. Let's go.
Do you think he was reading my mind? Is there still darkness inside of me?
Look, Noob, I know you've been through a lot. If you want, we can go back to the ship and I'll have Yarmo wipe what happened out of your memory banks.
No, I don't want him playing with my memories. Strange things can happen when you try to force people to forget things. We could open doors we're not prepared to deal with.
We'll discuss this on board. Zori, thank you for your assistance, but I don't think we'll find the info we're looking for here. Hopefully, someday you can get off this island.
Thanks. Look, I know Hondo escaped, and he wasn't here very long. What I do know about him is that he's going to be running in sketchy circles. Here's the coordinates for a spot where anyone looking for trouble will eventually wind up. The guy who runs security there has seen it all. If anyone can help you, it's him.
Thanks. Hope you manage to stay sane out there.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi here, but somehow I get transmissions from the bounty honeys. That keeps me from going mad like the rest of them.
Tune in to the next episode of The Dickie and the Noob to find out what hive of scum and villainy our heroes have been sent to.
And now, it's time for Getting Jigabachi with It on the Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's that time of day. It is time to get jiggy with Jigabachi. Mr. Jigabachi, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing super good. Super good this week. It's easy.
Why is that?
Because I am not playing GAC this week.
Oh, jeez. I think Neil's gonna chew you out on GA Center because of that.
No. We are allowed as human beings to take mental health days, and I'm taking this week off. So I'm setting max defenses. I am watching to see what goes on with my defenses, and I'm doing a couple attacks to be able to get my 10 points or so per week. And you have to be able to, it's a game. If you're not having fun, you need to be able to dial it back, and it's okay.
That is true. I will give you that.
It's the equivalent of a nooner. You're having a nooner. It's a nooner.
Day.
You're having a GAC nooner.
Yeah, I am. It's super important.
In the US, a nooner is a very, very different thing, Neil. Just saying.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I was just I was leaving that as a translation error, and that's fine. What's really cool is that I did my battle to get my 10 points for this match coming up, and I recently relicked my Dark Trooper, and I was able to punch out a full Relic 7 ridiculously well modded Darth Revan team with my Imperial Troopers. So it was like I finally have been able to access that counter correctly. It's very exciting.
What are you learning from your defenses by doing it?
I won't know until post. I mean, I posted a lot of the teams that I've been kind of using on offense, because sometimes we take stuff on offense because we're so fixated on I need this to be able to beat this counter. I need this to be able to take this. And what it's going to allow me to do is to sit there and go, oh, if this is consistently drawing this team and I don't need it anymore on offense and I have it modded the way I want to, well, why am I ticking a team that has my best mods on offense when that could do its job better on defense to make my opponent's life more challenging? Does that make sense? And you don't know that unless you actively remove something off of your dance card and you're like, you know what, we're not going to do, kung fu at 12 o'clock. We're doing kung fu at 1 o'clock. And so that way, when you mix up your personal order, it changes your way you think. It makes you think differently. And that's what we're doing. So although it looks like, we're going for the wooden spoon, but I don't look at it that way. I look at it in a different way. I know that sounds weird.
What are you, what's your thoughts on Second Sister?
How the last time we got this many marquees led to the worst meta this game's ever had, which was Jedi Knight Revan. We're obviously past this meta point where we're having these like consistent metas, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, the Jedi Knight Revan meta, then the DR meta, and the blah, 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 blah. We're not doing that anymore. It's more like GAC format. The problem is that when do you stop chasing teams? Because the Inquisitorious, is that what it is?
The Inquisitorious, is the tag.
I have another tag for it, but it rhymes with whatever. But anyways, we're adults. That's like another faction. So we're getting another faction that's a power creep faction that was created after all of these other pre-existing factions again. And we're going to get another possibly 5 of these characters to add. It's like, how many marquee characters are we going to get out of all this? Another 2 if one possibly goes to Conquest. That's a lot. That's a lot of cryotech.
Yeah.
That's
a good point. That's a good point. That's a lot of Kairos.
That really is. And not to say that that's not bad, but I think that this is more to challenge the people that are in the big boy group that have all the toys, not necessarily all the rest of the people that are going, well, which one of these new teams do I go with? Am I going for Mara Jade team? Do I even think about this prepared team with Dash, whatever his name is? You know what I mean? I think it creates a lot of where people have to sit there and go, okay, I really have to choose which team I want to build for because I simply have too many things to possibly go after, which is kind of cool, but also really scary.
Spoiled for choice. People are, especially with regards GA, those intermediate accounts, those ones that are just coming up through Chromium and Erodium that are around the 3-4 million mark. And all of these, it's like, they are really, really sport for choice. Because
but you have to
they're
think
probably
about
chasing a GL, aren't they?
Well, it's not just chasing the GL. I mean, we're seeing this like where you see a bunch of people that believe that, GLs are not beatable by other GLs. But the biggest thing that I took away from some of these big matches from this earlier week is that these matches were decided with not one shots. They were decided with effective 2-shotting, clearing some of these teams, which are technically unbeatable in 1-to-1 scenarios. And it's better to disable part of the team and then kill it in 2 rather than beat it in 1 while retaining a defensive team for you. This whole week has been really fascinating for me to watch as an observer more than a player.
Yeah, it certainly has been one of those great weeks. Looking forward to seeing,
Hold on, we have to make a little audio choice here. Go ahead.
But it's the fun part about seeing matchups like Fatal versus Arnold is you do, as you said, get to see that it's choices instead of bashing your head against the wall. It's not one shot clears. Ho, look at me. I, got a triple crown. Nev's going to be so proud of me. It's, oh no, I climbed the ladder. Nev's going to be so proud of me.
Well, actually, that's the biggest takeaway specifically from the Arnold Fatal match, which I mean, from both perspectives. I ended up watching. I watched it from from Fatal's perspective, but then I watched Arnold's video a little bit later, so I got to see it from both perspectives. The biggest thing that was crazy is that there were galactic legends that you could tell that the process was, I'm going to go against this. I'm probably lose, but this is the cleanup that I have basically on tap in case something goes wrong. And that was so fascinating to think of, because I have been up to this point of going, I need to do everything in one shot or this is a joke, when that's actually not the case. It's like, sometimes you can two-shot something and still clear it with another team and still put yourself in a pretty favorable position points-wise.
As long as you have the defense.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that because this is about building those great defenses to incur holds for you that may stop them while allowing you the flexibility to do it. But you can only do that at the big, 9 million roster level, kind of like what my opponent is this round. I am 7 million in my little group. There's another person that is 8 million. Everyone else is 9 or above. With all 6 GLs, I'm the only one with 3.
Yeah, I could definitely tell why you needed the nooner.
No, I really, really wanted to do some different defensive stuff. I wanted to make myself uncomfortable. I really wanted to do it. I've done this in the past, and it led to one of the biggest epiphanies I've had in this game about a year ago about my play and my style and what I'm trying to do. And sometimes you have to take a loss to win in another way. It's really healthy, and that's what we're doing. I know it sounds really weird because everybody's so competitive, but
no, it makes a lot of sense, at least to me. Neil, any questions before we move on to Patreon's choice for Jigabachi?
What are you looking forward to doing with the spare time that you got on your hands, mate?
I am secret projects among secret projects. I'm working on a personal thing with a bunch of friends that we're doing this really cool event that I'm doing. It's not a stream thing. It's just a bunch of friends and stuff like that. So I'm working on that a lot. And then I've got my wife is out of town, so I have the house to myself. So it's just me and this cat, so we're just hanging out, being like dudes and just doing dude stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like this game.
A bro down.
I love this community, but I like to chill,
All right. Let's get to Patreon's choice. We only had questions from Zaz, and it's all about movies. You ready? Favorite movie with aliens in it that is not Star Wars?
That's easy. Easy. Am I first?
Yeah, you're first.
Alien.
Yeah, Alien.
The only other one that I could say would be, which I consider the greatest film ever made, is 2001: Space Odyssey. But whether or not that you think that has aliens in it is up to interpretation.
My answer? Fifth Element.
Actually, I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to change my answer because Mr. Jigabachi already said Alien, and I'm going to say Earth Girls are easy.
All right. There you go.
Without a doubt.
I was really hoping one of you guys would say Mars Attack, and I was ready to go,
No, because it's not just sci-fi with aliens, it's a musical. And I love me a musical.
I respect it.
Favorite movie with an epic car chase? Gone in 60 Seconds for me. The new version. I loved the Eleanor chase. I know Nev is not going to say Book of Boba episode 3.
No, I'm not going to say.
There's a car chase in that? Oh, you mean the scooter chase?
Yes. They were chasing a car.
They're intergalactic Vespas, dude.
But they were chasing a car.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it to you. Oh man, that was hard to watch. I literally looked at my wife. I'm like, "What the?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is bad."
Chase. Oh, I'm spoiled. I'm gonna have to go with the I mean, it's not a cut. You know what? I was going to say the Italian Job, but it's not technically a car chase. So I'm going to go with the Bourne Identity, because what the stunt drivers do with that Mini is damn right impressive.
That's pretty strong.
That is a really good car chase.
Mine is the opening sequence of the second Daniel Craig James Bond, and the name of that movie is Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace, yeah.
People always forget it. They don't like Quantum of Solace because it's really straightforward. But that action sequence at the beginning of that with the DB8, it's so good.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
It's real good.
Favorite comedy movie? Basketball.
Well, this is going to be controversial. I already know it. American Psycho.
It can be comedy. I get it. I understand why you said that.
Dude, I can't make it through it.
There's so many. Favorite. I'm gonna go with a classic. I'm gonna go with A Fish Called Wanda, because I can watch that movie over and over and over and over again.
All right, favorite.
That's a good one.
Favorite movie action hero or heroine? It kind of ties into what Jiggy said earlier. I love James Bond. Own every single movie.
Action. So read the question again.
Favorite action hero or heroine?
Mine's easy.
What you got?
Go on then. What's yours, Jig?
Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Not the one with frickin' Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
That's McKierlin or something like that. I'm
yeah,
talking
the
about the
original anime.
From Standalone Complex Season 1 and Season 2 and the original film and Ghost in the Shell 2, in Essentia. Easy.
See, I'm going to go with it. I've got to go with Indiana Jones.
Oh.
I've got to go with Indiana Jones, because it's not just because he is the, but it's I mean, like Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, when he's on that ship and he's like broken and he's battered and he's bruised and, he hurts everywhere. It's like, it's a real, he's a real he's a real person. I mean, yes, he's got the bullwhip and he does all that crazy stuff, but, once the action dies down, you can feel the pain. It oozes out of him. So yeah, I'm going to go Indiana Jones.
All right. Favorite martial arts movie, and it's a horrible movie, but the martial arts was absolutely fun to me. The Street Fighter movie.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh my god, that's controversial. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a hot take. That is a real hot take. I would never vote for that in a million years.
Well,
Chinese
for
connection
you, it was a Tuesday. Anyway, it does
Chinese
have Ming No Wen in it.
It does have
Chinese connection for me.
For me, it's it's Enter the Dragon.
Yeah,
I'm always gonna love Bruce Lee. The fight scene at the end, the finale, the grand finale. Yeah, I love that.
Right.
Yeah,
Favorite.
I was actually going back and forth between Enter the Dragon and Chinese Connection.
So there you go.
I was flip-flopping between the two of them.
All right. Favorite crime-based movie?
Oh, 7.
Citizen Kane.
7 straight away. What's in the box? God, what's in the box?
You opened the box.
My God, what's in the box?
Big Trouble in Little China from Big Country Mags.
Man,
dude.
Favorite crime-based movie for me? Now You See Me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. You like a little magic in there.
I like a little magic in there. Yep.
And it does have Elsa Fisher, and she does like watching.
Blood Sport.
All right.
Oh, God.
And
who said Blood Sport?
Ray
I love
Rock
that
did.
movie, but it's
Somebody
definitely
time
not the
him
best
out in
one.
chat. Oh my God.
The
Ray
editing
Rock.
for that movie was horrendous.
What the last question from Zaz, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up here. What, in your opinion, is the worst movie ever?
Oh, worst movie ever.
I have to say the worst.
I know.
For me, it's Twilight. I'm sorry. I can watch almost anything. I love Mystery Science Theater 3000. I've seen some of the movies from MST3K without MST3K riffing. I tried to watch the riffed version of Twilight. I couldn't even get through that.
Well, but you're not the right audience, Commander. I mean, like, I'm not defending Twilight, but what I am saying is that for as many people that are dislike that movie, there's other people out there that are like,
that love the movie.
Twilight's my go-to.
There are people that love Manos Hands of Fate as an actual movie, but it is a terrible movie. But I can actually get through that one. What about you? Either one of you?
Go ahead, Neil.
For me, it's Clear and Present Danger.
Which I really fucking like, which is...
For me, it was Clear and Present Danger. I got up and I left the cinema.
I actually don't mind that one.
Spoiler alert, there's a scene where they're in Colombia and there's lots of guns, there's lots of shooty-wooty, flashy-washy and bangy-waggy things going on. And then a certain someone gets killed. And I'm like, excuse me? Did you just kill a character that needs to be in every single movie after Clear and Present Danger? And I'm like, yeah, they just killed Dan. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? You just killed one of the 5 major characters in the entire franchise, and Harrison Ford had signed up to do that. Yeah, I was fuming. And as a result, I was just the movie was just destroyed for me. That movie destroyed the Tom Clancy franchise because they killed Dan Murray.
Well, mine's easy because I went to go see it in the theater and I didn't make it. I went to go see Blood Rain thinking that would be good. And I was like, Christina Logan was so good in Terminator 3. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. This is nudity. This is tits and all this stuff. This is going to be great. And I was like, oh my God, this is so bad.
I definitely have to put an explicit on this episode.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, it's been all 3 of us.
He cursed first.
I cursed first. Yeah. Don't ask me. You know, it's like what's the worst movie you've ever watched? Because it riles me up. You know, every time I think of that movie, it's like, how dare you disrespect the source material?
Yeah. That's really interesting. Now, I didn't read the book series as in depth as that. But I still actually thought that film was easy to sit through, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. You know, there's movies that I like. The difficulty for me to actually stay seated is really challenging. That was a movie that Eternals was really difficult for my wife and I to make it through. Both of us did not like that. So the Hobbit movies, somebody said the Hobbit movies were pretty bad. Those were really difficult to sit through. They were really tough.
All right, Jiggy, what you got coming up on the channel since it's a nooner week?
I am going to be continuing my adventures in the Old Republic, the Star Wars MMORPG. And this week I should be getting back to, we got Lightside Geo, I think, this week, don't we?
No, Territory Wars this week. Lightside Geo the week after. Today was sign up for Territory Wars.
Sorry about the explicits.
It's all good. Every once in a while, we just let go. And it's okay. We're human. Nev, other than GAC, you got anything coming up?
Just GAC.
GAC.
Nothing but GAC.
You guys want to see the most adorable thing that will actually end this in the greatest way possible?
But
the ship's cat.
The cuteness of the cat. That is amazing.
Every ship should have a cat. We have a cat.
Yeah.
So
the 17-pound Maine Coon cat.
This week, Vault 37 Studios will be only on Saturday. We are making it very, very far, trying to see if we might be able to finish in time for Skywalker Saga. Highly doubt that, but we'll see if we could get the entire Skywalker Saga Lego game upon release. We'll have the game, but we're playing it in order. Other than that, Make sure you check out GA Center on Escape Podcast on Twitch. And yes, Bones, there will be Fallout tomorrow. We'll talk after the show.
Fallout?
I love playing Fallout 76. I love that game.
What is that game?
It's the online multiplayer version of Fallout.
I don't even know what that is. Cool.
Post-apocalyptic with a modern retro art style. I actually think you might like it.
1950s modern retro?
1930s, 40s.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll talk more.
Okay.
We'll talk more.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, stick around for a raid if you're not going to join us in the after show. We thank you for joining us for this week, and we'll see you next week, hopefully, with some more big announcements. But it's been a character reveal week, so it's probably an all or nothing show, right, Neil?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Another marquee.
Another marquee. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Be nice to each other, damn it. Neil, what you got?
Push the button.
Don't mind if I do.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Boo Boo, sit. Good dog.